Volunteer helicopter pilots are doing the Lord's work by rescuing hurricane victims out in the mountains of western North Carolina. Some of them, however, are being stopped by local authorities. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the ongoing rescue efforts after Hurricane Helene hit large parts of the Southeast. You're talking about Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, maybe even as far as West Virginia, Florida, of course. A lot of these places have been devastated by the hurricane. Specifically, Western North Carolina, a lot of damage has been happening. A lot of people are trapped up in these mountainous remote communities, and there's often no way to get to them by traditional means, by like a road, because the roads are washed out. So what's happening? You have volunteers from all over the country come to this region with helicopters to save people. Now, some of them are being allowed to carry out their mission and they're being allowed to rescue people. However, some are not. Now, the question is why? Is it a no-fly zone situation? Is it a safety issue? What's the reason why these pilots are not able to go rescue people who desperately need it, especially when the government isn't doing much? Now, before I go any further, let's hear from Kamala. Let's hear her plan to help out these people who need it right now. Check it out.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met. And the federal
$750. This is Maui, Hawaii all over again. And remember, that was just last year, also under the Biden-Harris administration. So what's really going on? Do we care about our American citizens? Do we care about them in times of need when natural disasters hit? Now, some might try to say, oh, you're advocating for socialism. No. We pay taxes. The taxes should go to what? National security. Isn't a natural disaster a matter of national security? Isn't that what that is? Maybe I'm just not understanding, but that's what we get. 750 U.S. American cold hard cash dollars. Meanwhile, the migrants get whatever they want. I'm getting triggered already. Before I go any further into it, let's get to a news clip about the volunteers who were able to do their job. Then we're going to get into a story of someone who's not able to do his job. And of course, everything will be in the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
It's the sound of solace. Help is on the way.
We just kind of organized a private helicopter army to go in and survey the damage and extract people and take supplies in and just create landing zones for everybody to have supply routes in and out.
Matt McSwain is a pilot from Mount Holly and says he received a call from Operation Airdrop, an organization now working to shore up relief and rescue efforts for folks trapped in North Carolina's high country.
We've had 37 helicopters today, volunteers. We've had people from Texas to Maine, all the way across the East Coast, just show up and like, how do we help?
For folks who remember Katrina, there's like the Cajun Navy.
Right.
I feel very much like this is Cajun Navy.
Yep, this is Redneck Navy. Redneck Marine Corps. I'm a Marine, so Redneck Marines.
Hoorah. Shout out to Marines. Hoorah. And before he continues, I want to thank everybody who has come out to Appalachia, because I'm out here in Appalachia. Thank you guys for coming out here. Shout out to you guys for donating. Whatever you can do, thank you for doing what you do. We really appreciate y'all. We really do.
Wayne took us back to the war room where we were allowed to take photos, but not share any audio from inside. There's a station where they gather calls for help, often from social media posts, then triage the severity of the need and what supplies should go on the flight, and then attempt to find that person in distress. One of the biggest hurdles, McSwain says, is not having spots to land.
When we go to those GPS coordinates, we may not be able to land there. It might be a mile, 2 miles on one side or the other, just because we can't get to that distress call.
Tuesday, he says they plan to help with another major concern, shuttling in communication devices for first responders.
There's actual whole communities that are completely cut off from the grid. We tried to establish communications with the local sheriff's department, the fire department. There is no communications.
Thanks. So, yeah, that's what's going on. Now, shout out to everybody that's been able to go out there and help with the situation. Now, let's get to the story of a pilot who was not able to fulfill his mission, the very same one we just saw on the screen. Check this out.
Back to the mountains, where remarkable stories of survival are now being shared days after Helene wreaked havoc in North Carolina. But one Pageland man's efforts to help are now the source of controversy. He flew his own chopper on his own dime to help stranded victims. But that man says he abandoned his rescue missions after a fire official threatened to have him thrown in jail. Well, that man now wants answers and turned to Queen City News Chief Investigator Jody Barr to help figure out what went wrong here.
This is the original post that I was reading when I decided to go up and help. It's a long post, but she's saying that her kids and family and animals are.
So somebody, looks like they put it on Facebook or something. Somebody's talking about, hey, please help. Basically, it says, we are now in desperate need of the help, and I hope someone can. Does anyone have any leads or information to private aviation, which, okay, helicopter, that's exactly what that is. Specifically helicopters. I need to get my family, dogs included, off this mountain. So you have a direct call for help. Civilian, American citizen, fellow patriot, I'm coming to help. But somebody's in the way. Let's keep on going.
Family and animals are trapped. No way out, no supplies, and the only way in or out is accessible by helicopter. Limited self-service and no water since Friday morning. I thought I have a helicopter and maybe I can help.
Jordan Sidham piled food and water into his helicopter Saturday and headed up toward Banner Elk, the only way through a mountain gap in Lake Lure.
This is the mountain valley that you would have to fly to get to Black Mountain, where we were escorting people out. This is a mountain range, and this is a mountain range. The only place to fly through with bad visibility, low cloud coverage, is Lake Lure.
The cries for help from people stranded without food, water, or electricity hit social media soon after the flooding last Friday.
But my parents are stuck there. Their address is Banner Elk. They are in the first condo. If you receive this, please give me a call back. Thank you.
Sidham's phone started lighting up on Saturday with people begging for help.
I could hear the desperation in her voice. This is multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Sidham and his son rescued 4 people on Saturday and spent the night in a nearby pilot's lounge, then decided to fly again Sunday morning.
I spoke with my son, which is my co-pilot. I said, hey, do you want to go back out and try to help today? And his response was, there's so many messages, I don't think we can't not go help.
Sidham and his son were headed up to Black Mountain. Flight tracking shows no flight restrictions in place Saturday or Sunday morning when Sidham flew through the Lake Lure Gap. But that was all about to change. The Sidham spotted an older couple waving for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
Hey, I want you to let me get in, you step out and go out, help her in, put her bag in the back, get her strapped in. I'm gonna take her down, come back. I'll take him, I'll come back, and then I'll get you, okay?
So you see the plan, right? So he's in the helicopter with his son, with his boy, the co-pilot, and he's like, okay, you got this elderly couple, husband and wife. You go out there and let's help get the wife in. I'll get her to safety. Then I'm gonna come back and get the husband. Then I'm gonna come back get you. Makes sense to me.
Originally left my son co-pilot on the side of the mountain. It was kind of unstable, so I didn't want to put more weight in the helicopter to lift back off. So I left my son with the other victim, and I was just going to take one person down at the time. And you could hear me in the video talking through with the victims and with my son what we're going to do.
3 minutes away, Sidham spotted a group of rescuers just down the river. He landed and found someone in charge.
Told him my background experience, law enforcement, firefighting, pilot. He immediately started helping with coordination. He gave me radio frequencies to coordinate with them on, set up a landing area for me to come back with the other victim. And in the middle of the whole conversation and them blocking the road off, I was greeted by the, at that time I didn't know, but Lake Lure fire chief or assistant chief maybe. And
now my thing is, okay, at this point, you're the small town fire chief. You need to get out the way, okay? This person is clearly not doing anything dangerous. They're not causing harm. So there's no need for you to really get in the way and try to be, big tough guy and flex your muscle. This ain't the time for that. This is the time to let people come in and help rescue people that need to be rescued, because you can stop him from doing his job. But what about that old man on top of the mountain? You're just going to leave him there? Like, come on, what are we doing?
And he shut down the whole operation. So at that point, I felt like the conversation wasn't going any further. And again, he asked me to leave, and I said, hey, I have no problem getting out of your area. If that's what you want us to do, we'll leave, no issue. At that point, I asked him, what was the reason I had to leave them there? And he said, again, you're interfering with my operation. I just need you to get out of the area. I said, sir, I don't know where you were trained at, but I know how my training is, and I'm not going to leave personnel behind. I'm going back to get my co-pilot. He said, if you turn around and go back up the mountain, you're going to be arrested.
That's crazy. Now, there's a little bit more to the video, but I'm not going to play everything, but you get the general idea. So he did go get his boy. He got his son, but he had to leave the husband behind because he didn't want to get arrested. He was going to risk the arrest for his boy, but now he's kind of pushing it if he goes back up the mountain and do all that. What should have happened was he should have just been left to do the rescue mission, the rescue effort. Unless the fire chief is able to get another helicopter in the sky and get the old man, then I don't see why he was even getting in the way. Just let citizens handle this, especially if you don't have a way to get it done. All right, look. As I close, I want to say this. This ain't the time for people to be flexing their muscle. Just let the citizens handle it. This is what should happen during times like this. We, the people, come together and help other people, because we see what the federales are going to do. $750, the same thing they did with Hawaii. And you still got problems with Hawaii right now, over a year later after the fire. Let the civilians handle it, let the people handle it, and let the government get out of the way. Get out of the way, let us do it, because obviously y'all don't know what to do up on Capitol Hill with our taxpayer money, by the way. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about the helicopter pilots? Are they heroes? Are they a national treasure? Should it be should they get medals of honor? Should these people be treated and celebrated as heroes, as American patriots? Or should it be some, oh, you can't get interfere in my operation? Like, what's really going on with the whole situation? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. These guys are heroes. And again, I thank everybody who has volunteered. If you sent $1, if you sent thoughts and prayers, if you sent food, clothing, whatever you did, thank you for what you're doing. I'm not going to get in the way. I'm going to encourage you guys to continue to help. I'm not going to be on the power trip talking about you getting in the way of my operation when before I came, there was nobody here to rescue this elderly couple. So what operation? Operation stand down, operation do nothing. It's a whole big mess. But again, shout out to the guys who were able to fulfill their mission, who were able to rescue people in the helicopters. Shout out to you guys, and keep on going. Don't let incidents like what happened at the lake get in the way or interfere with your desire to help people. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that is all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.